Hi, my name's Chris and I'm one of the student recruitment officers for degree apprenticeships here at Manchester Metropolitan University. So for the next few minutes I'm just going to talk a little bit about our degree apprenticeship provision at this institution. So we're really proud at Manchester Met that we've been rated the top university in the UK for degree apprenticeships according to Rate My Apprenticeship. Also, we're extremely proud that we've been given an Ofsted Outstanding rating for 2022 for our degree apprenticeship provision. We've actually worked with over 500 employers over the last few years to provide these degree apprenticeship opportunities. We offer a range of subjects, so we have a more business focused apprenticeship with our chartered management degree apprenticeship, all the way through to our science focused apprenticeships. So we have healthcare science and then laboratory science focusing on bioscience or chemical science. We also have digital focused courses as well. So we have creative digital design, digital and technology solutions, digital user experience and digital marketing. Just to quickly explain how degree apprenticeships work here at Manchester Met, they generally do take 4 years to complete and they are run on an 80-20 split. So 80% of the time our degree apprentices will be in work with a particular company, and then 20% of the time they will be at university here at Manchester Met in lectures and workshops. So it is important that we do offer lots of support to our apprentices because it is quite a rigorous thing to do a degree apprenticeship. Our apprentices do have to combine full-time work with part-time study. So as well as doing all of their projects within a work setting, they also have university assignments to complete. And one of the big advantages for our degree apprentices here at Manchester Met is that there is lots of support that is available, both from a university standpoint and within the company that they are working with as well. So from a university standpoint, of course, apprentices are able to go to their fellow apprentices and ask questions, share best practice, build networks, and of course if they have any questions then they can go to their fellow apprentices. They can also go to lecturers and programme leaders, so just as any undergraduate student can go to their lecturer and ask for help and advice, our degree apprentices are able to do that as well. Also, we do provide our apprentices with what's called a skills coach. So a skills coach is someone who is there at the university within our apprenticeships unit, who is there to provide pastoral support to our apprentices and just to make sure that everything is progressing well. So all of our apprentices will have regular meetings with their skills coach just to make sure that they're happy with everything and their apprenticeship is going well and that they're keeping up to date with all of their assignments. Also at Manchester Met, all of our companies will provide a workplace mentor for our apprentices, again just to make sure that everything's progressing well. It can be quite a big transition to go into doing a degree apprenticeship and have that rigorous work-life balance, but it is important that we do provide that support. So again, the workplace mentor is there just to make sure that everything is progressing well. Okay, so now we're going to go into a Q&A with some of our apprentices. Today I'm joined by Fraser and Amy, who are going to talk a little bit about their experiences of degree apprenticeships at Manchester Met. So Amy and Fraser, do you want to just give a quick introduction of yourselves and your experiences?
Yeah, of course. So hi, I'm Amy. I have completed my degree apprenticeship in 2021. I was on the Chartered Management course at Manchester Met.
And I'm Fraser. I'm in my first year of a digital marketing degree apprenticeship.
Okay, and so first question, we'll go to you first, Fraser. How did you first hear about degree apprenticeships and why did you end up going for a degree apprenticeship?
Yeah, so of course I was already working at a company and I was looking to upskill and improve myself. I never went to university when I was at school and it was never my intention to really. So I was always looking to get into a practical environment, and that's just the way I prefer to learn, being immersed in the kind of industry that I wanted to go into. So I was already working there, I wanted to upskill myself. So I looked into it, researched into it, and found the degree apprenticeship with Manchester Met and took this to my employers as an option for me to improve myself and benefit the company. And that was the way I went for it. So it was never my intention to go to university in the traditional sense, just because it didn't fit for me. But this was sort of the best of both worlds because I could apply exactly what I'm learning straight into the career that I'm working into.
Okay, fantastic. Amy, was your experience a little bit different?
Yeah, it was actually. I started at Manchester Met when I left college. So I applied. I came to the open evening. I signed up for the alerts on the Manchester Met system, and waited until the vacancy came available, and then applied to the company that was assigned to this programme that Manchester Met offer.
Fantastic. So Fraser, this one's for you. So did you have any preconceptions before starting your degree apprenticeship?
I wasn't quite sure when I was first looking into it how it would impact me as an employee, as a full-time worker. Taking on the responsibility of working towards a degree as well as working full-time is a bit of a scary concept. And at first it seemed like it might have been too much to sort of take on all at once, but there's a lot of support that I've received, and getting time from my employer to work towards my studies really helped. So that was something I was quite conscious of and aware of, but it really made sense once I started it and putting that into my working week and having that time to work towards the degree.
Amy, did you have any preconceptions?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously leaving college, I was obviously 18. I'd never heard of anyone going down this route before, and I'd never heard of the company that I actually applied to. So it took a lot of, I think, nerve and encouragement to apply and just go for it.
Fantastic. Okay, so a little bit of a question now on the application process. So Amy, you can take this one first.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find the application process? So did you have to do like CVs, cover letters, interviews, things like that?
Yeah, so for me it was, like I said, I went via the Manchester Met website. I then got directed to the company that I work for now, which is Stateside Foods. They had an application form which was about 3 questions. I also sent my CV. I then got invited to an assessment centre, which also was an interview on the same day as well.
Okay, Fraser, what about you?
So as I said, I was already working for the company previously, so it was just a case of me working with my employer, with my manager, to see how it would best fit. We spoke with Manchester Met and the admissions team to work out the best way for my employer to become part of the degree apprenticeship programme, and for me to therefore join on to that as well. So it was quite a simple process, but it was just a case of making sure that it was a good fit for me as an individual and a good fit for the business.
Great, thank you. So Amy, next question is for you. So as someone who's sort of completed your apprenticeship a couple of years ago, what impact has doing your degree apprenticeship had on the organisation?
Yeah, so interestingly, when I started at Stateside Foods, no one had actually yet completed the course, so it was still an open question really. But since then, and since I've graduated as well, we've actually had 3 cohorts all go through the process. We've all been offered a full-time position at Stateside Foods, and there is a number of apprentices that are now in managerial roles. Just on a personal note for me, I managed to secure a position in commercial, which has now actually led to me having a promotion just recently to commercial manager.
Excellent. Okay, so next question for you, Fraser. Could you talk a little bit about your day-to-day sort of work, what your day-to-day work life looks like?
Yeah, so working in a marketing role for a small business, it's quite a varied role in itself. Being in a smaller team, there's only a few of us working in the team, so I work on a wide range of marketing activities. I work for a company called UK IT Networks, so we're a B2B telecoms provider, so it's quite a varied industry, quite a technical industry as well. So I do all sorts of things around customer relations, marketing, and working across the business to make the company present itself and attract new customers. So I work on that, and then away from that I take 1 day a week out of my working week to work towards my studies. So I'm either in university, in lectures, or I do online lectures, and then I use the rest of that to work towards my assignments, to do extra self-studying, so I have that set time away from my usual working environment to be able to commit to that, to be able to work on my university, whatever I'm working on at that particular time.
Okay, great. And another question for you, Fraser, someone who's a current apprentice. What support do you get from Manchester Met as a degree apprentice?
Yeah, it's really good. So we've got skills coaches that work with us, and we have regular meetings with those, and their sole purpose is to make sure that we are in a good environment, both in our workplace and as part of the apprenticeship, as part of the university. So I have regular meetings with them, and they ensure that I'm in a good position on both sides. And then we also have a lot of support with from Manchester Met to do with the learning and the studies. If ever there is any issues we're having of any kind, there's always a good support system there. And there's a lot of contact time that we have with the tutors. So like I say, we have weekly meetings with the tutors as a class, and there's any problems or any feedback on the assignments we're working on, there's a good group to study on that, both with the tutor, with each other, work on it all together.
Okay, fantastic. So next question for you, Amy, just a general one. So would you recommend doing a degree apprenticeship?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's definitely, if the course that you are wanting to do can be done this route, then I would 100% recommend. I think it's something that allows you to blend the experiences at work into the university assignments. The university assignments also then blend the other way back into the workplace. I just think it's a general all-round great course to be on.
Do you want to add to that a bit, Fraser?
Yeah, equally it's about applying what you're learning directly into your workplace. So I've only been on the course for a few months, but already everything that I'm learning I'm putting into the business, and we're seeing improvements from the business already just from what I'm learning and being able to apply that directly into what you're doing.
Fantastic. Okay, next question for you, Amy. You've talked about this a little bit already, but where would you say you are now in your career? So after completing your degree apprenticeship, how has that sort of helped you in your career where you are now?
Yeah, massively. So my stateside foods actually do the apprenticeship in a very, I think, beneficial way. So as we start in our first year, we actually rotate around the business. So we get to go in every single department for at least a month or maybe 8 weeks, and then once you've kind of gone around the entire company, you can then specify which ones you actually want to spend a bit longer in. But all that experience has led me to get to where I am today. I think without that knowledge and background, and you just gain more respect for everyone's elements of the business, and I think it's fundamental in a company as big as Stateside.
Okay, and then a final question for you both. So Fraser, you can take this first. Do you have any advice for future degree apprentices?
I think, like you said earlier, Amy, not worrying too much about the application process and going into it. It's a really good way to get into an industry and to get that career experience. So putting yourself out there and having that commitment to it is a really good thing, and just not trying to have the apprehension of applying to this kind of role, whether it's in a smaller business like mine or a larger business. Either way, it will help you progress into a career that you're looking into.
I think I would add to that it shouldn't be seen as an easier option. I think that's kind of a stigma against apprentices still. It's definitely a huge commitment. It's 4 years of your life, but also it's the workload as well. You are working full time and you are trying to still do a degree. So it's sacrificing some time that is your own time to do the work too.
Okay, fantastic. So thanks very much, Fraser and Amy, and it was really useful to get your an overview of your experiences as degree apprenticeships at Manchester Met.
I chose a degree apprenticeship because I'm quite a practical learner and I like to put my learning into practice straight away, and I thought the block release learning and then straight back into work would be a good mix for me. My favourite bit so far has been actually learning and getting to talk to the lecturers and getting to know what they did before and how much they enjoy what they do.
I always wanted to go into something creative. I originally wanted to go into marketing and also journalism. So something like UX through my media coursework at A-level became like really easy to like go into, and something I was interested in as soon as I found out about it. I'm going to be able to have a degree and also 4 years of experience and integrated into a corporate setting. I just love coming into the office every day and being able to network with like loads of really interesting people who know so much about the field what I'm going into. Getting to network with people at such a very young age and then hopefully develop relationships by doing that is also brilliant and priceless really. Facilities are great at Manchester Met, especially the Soda building. That's where all of our lectures are, and yeah, I really enjoy going to it, and it's as well as not only the building, the teachers and our skills coaches are great as well.
I was the first person in my school to do something other than a full-time degree. I'm able to implement my learning quite well into my work because of the sprint work that we're doing and the work we do with our squad and our teams. I found out about apprenticeships at Manchester Met Open Day for full-time degrees. There was a little stall that I went and talked to. I was able to then look on the Manchester Met website because I knew I wanted to move away from home because I'm from Hertfordshire, so I moved away up to Manchester and Man Met. I really liked the campus and the feel of it when I was looking on the open days. I applied to 10 or 12 apprenticeships and I got a couple, but this one was the one that I really wanted to do. So we're on 8-month rotations, I think, within BT. So we'll move around and work with different people and shadow different people. So we'll learn lots of different roles within the company. I'm not 100% sure what I'd like to do in the future, but I think having the 4 years experience and trying out lots of different things will really help me find what I want to do as I go along, and having the experience alongside the knowledge from the degree will be really helpful.
One of the best things about doing my degree apprenticeship was being able to continue my education in the area that I'm really passionate about, whilst also getting out there into the real world of work and getting a head start on my career. My managers and colleagues throughout the course were really supportive. They made sure I had all the time and help and support that I needed, and similarly the tutors at Manchester Metropolitan University, and I know I couldn't have completed it without any of those. To come out with a degree as well as all that work experience, it gives you a massive advantage over other graduates in the competitive world of work, and it's opened doors for me within my field and my company that I didn't even know existed.
It's been amazing. From a Manchester Met perspective, they were there all the time on the other side of the screen, ready to help me every time, through Teams, through emails, through phone calls. I was always supported and helped by my tutors. I have now been promoted at Pennine Events to Marketing and Technology Manager, so technology is a big thing for me in my role and in my apprenticeship, and through the apprenticeship I've managed to secure this promotion. I would 100% absolutely recommend a degree apprenticeship. It's the best way to get work experience and have somebody mentor you and just give you that moral support as well when you need it. This has given me a way to better myself and be the best version of myself in both worlds, which is the best thing I can ever do through a degree apprenticeship. Graduating today is a huge achievement. I feel a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit teary, a little bit relieved. Today has been a big celebration for me. It couldn't be a better day, and it just makes me want to do what I do even more.